Hey guys, what better way to celebrate May than with the sunshine? Hi everybody, my name is Kimberly and I am the Hanley behind Creating Hanley, and today we are making this Dresden plate sunshine, sunflower, sun worshipping, sun salutation, sunblock. Because what better star block than the sun? The sun is a star. It's the most beautiful star. Now this could be like a sunflower, or it could be, Dresden plate is a Dresden plate is basically this petal ish right here. And so we are going to design this whole thing. Let's see. There we go. That whole thing. Now, I did not put it on a background yet. I just made the plate. And so you can see there's no backing to it. It's just a flimsy, what we call flimsy. And I did not attach it to a backing yet. And I certainly did not quilt sandwich this yet. But this is the interesting part here. I used that gold thread that I had used on a previous video. And then on the back, you can kind of see how this goes. So if you've never made a Dresden plate, we are going to do this today. So you can see how it forms points, and then we just sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance each. It looks like a tie, basically a men's tie, but we sew each of these plates together to make this whole thing. And what you need is a Dresden plate template. So this is a Dresden plate template. This is an 8-inch template. Now you don't have to go out and buy anything specific. I made this one out of cardboard. And what you really want is 18 degrees. On these sides should be 18 degrees. Now how the heck do you find an 18 degree measurement? But one thing that I did is I actually put these measurements up here for you. So this is an 11-inch tall piece of cardboard. Let me bring it back. And then, so from 11 inches, this is 2 inches at the bottom here. So if you get like a cereal box or cardboard from packaging or whatever, this is, just a thin-ish cardboard. Nothing very thick. But this is 2 inches at the bottom, and then it tapers up, or it should taper down, taper up to 4.5 inches at the top. And then so the middle from the edge here to midline would be 2.25 inches. So I have that up here. So this is 11 inches long, 2 inches at the bottom wide, and then 4.5 inches wide at the top. So the midline is 2.25 inch from middle to edge, and that makes your 18 degrees. So if you wanted to do that on cardboard, feel free. Now that's an 11-inch Dresden plate, so you don't have to make it that big. This is an 8-inch one, so it's 8 inches, including the seam allowances, the 1/4 inch seam allowances. So you can see that the dotted line is a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, so that's just this specific one. This brand is called Easy Quilting by Simplicity.com. I picked this up at a store. You could probably order it online. So there you go. So you could either buy one, and this is that hard plastic, or you can make one temporarily. You don't have to go out and buy anything expensive or special. Just make something at home. And I just gave you the numbers, the formula. Okay. So what we did was, or what I did was, I just took 10 different fabrics. 10 different, now I did not buy anything special. I just had whatever I had on hand. So I had all these on hand. So, from, let's see, from this one to this one, these are, you know, exactly the same. So I just did it in a kind of a rainbow or an umber or a umber, it could be, or ombre, but I just did, you know, from lightest to darkest. And that's how I arranged my Dresden plate. And then I found this batik fabric that I had in a just one fat quarter of it, and I just cut out from cardboard again. Here, let me grab it. I just cut out from cardboard again a circle. So here's the inner circle. So here's the circle. It just had this. Actually, this was the cardboard square that the fabric came on. The batik fabric came on this little square. So I just used this as the centerpiece, and I found a perfect circle to overlap this part, this circle, and I think it worked out great because you can see how the thread just goes right along and catches all the bottom of the the Dresden plates together, holds everything together, keeps it all together. And so I just cut a circle. I just found like a jar wide enough to, you know, trace around, and then I just cut that using, now I used like an old blade in my rotary cutter, because you could use a fresh blade, but then it dulls the blade pretty quick. So this blade is pretty dull anyway. So that's how I did that, and then just very carefully go around. Now, obviously, it's not absolutely perfect. There's some dings and whatnot in here, but that's what I did for that. And then you can use that to on your fabric. So, for example, you can find fabric and, you know, whatever fabric that you want, you just place this template over top, and it acts as a window. So if you want to fussy cut something, so say like I wanted to fussy cut this flower, I just take my template and I place this on here, or the back is a different color. So I can find out where I want to, you know, fussy cut, or if I come over here, you know, and kind of do something like that. And so that's what is going to show on my project. And so then you know kind of like what to cut. And then so you just draw a circle. I just pencil a circle, and then don't cut out on that circle yet. Make like a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch circle around that, so you have extra cutting space. Because if you cut it, you know, just edge to edge, you don't have anything to fold over. So what I did, was I folded over on my, and this is a fusible. Oh yeah, this is the fusible fleece. So this part is glue. This has the glue on it. So I just sewed, I kind of like basted the fusible fleece onto the top of here, and then I wrapped, you know, little cuts all around the side, and then wrap that around and heat it up just the edges so that the edges kind of stick to the glue a little bit. And then I just placed that right over the hole where I wanted it to look. And then I just, what did I use? I used a blanket stitch, a really close blanket stitch. And you can see like I missed some spots, but you go all the way around and just with a really close blanket stitch. And I used the fancy metallic thread, and I put my stitch tension to number 1. So I covered that in a previous video. And on the blanket stitch, you can see it's not loopy on the back. Or maybe you can't see that too close. But it didn't form a loop. And probably because I had so many layers of fabric here, I had, you know, 2 or 3 layers of fabric plus the fleece. So that took up a lot of bulk, and the thread was able to you know, grab on and loop around that. So it worked out pretty well, I think. And from a distance, you don't know. But anyway, I started to say I had 10 fabrics in this kind of rainbow color, and then I had one right here. This is a gold one. So you're actually going to need, if you use an 8-inch, which is what I did, I used the whole length of this, an 8-inch Dresden plate, you need 21 plates. 21. And I think you need 21 plates for pretty much all Dresdens. I'm not sure on that, but at least for this one, you need 21. So 10 and 10 mirror each other here. And then I have one extra, and that's the gold right there. Okay, so we'll set that aside for now. Let me show you how I did the Dresden. So let me bring the camera down this way. Oh, I'm going to bring it over this way. All right, here we go. So what I did was I just layered 3 fabrics right here. So I have this layer, and if you use a pattern or a specific directional fabric, you want to make sure it's lined up in the correct line that you want it to go. So I want my Dresden plate to line up this way, so I'm going to line up my fabric this way. Okay, and then I put this one down kind of edge to edge here, and then I put this one down edge to edge. Now this little one is going to determine how long my Dresden plate is. So it's not very long. So if I put my plate down right here and I take it to the bottom and I go up, this is only 3.5 inches. So it's only showing 3.5 inches. Now that includes the 1/4 inch seam allowance down here. So this is only going to be a 3.5 inch Dresden plate. So it'll be quite small indeed. So what I'm going to do is take my rotary cutter. So I line this up at the edge. Oh, you can't even see that. Here we go. So I line this up, my Dresden plate, right at the edge there. And then I'm just going to line the top edge up over here. And then I slice this side. Oh, yeah, my blade is pretty dull. I just cut out that cardboard. Line that up there. And then I line this up here on this side. And then I know this is the top, so I'm just going to take the edge of my Dresden and use it as a straight edge and then slice it for the other 2 fabrics underneath. And there we go. So now I have 3 perfectly cut, same size wedges as such. So I'm going to get this out of the way. Now these little pieces, you know where these are going? These are going in my crumb quilt box. Okay, now we have 3 perfectly same size plates, Dresden plates. Now you want to make sure that the right sides are up, so you take the right sides and at the top you fold them together, right sides together. So this is now the back. And this is probably a bad one to do, but you can tell this is the front and this is the back. So you want to take right sides together, line up these corners at the top, line up this, make sure everything is all lined up, nice and square. And then I kind of just like align the rest of the edges up too. Align these 2 edges up and make sure that is correct. And you can, if you want to, kind of like finger press a halfway mark in there, like a little fold. You could do that if you like. You could actually iron it down and make a, ironed in crease. You could do that as well. So I'm just going to take all 3 of these and fold them, line up the edges, right sides together. Okay, now I'm going to take this back over to the machine. My camera goes back over here to the machine. And now, I'm going to chain piece these. So I'm using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, which is going to make these Dresden plates quite small indeed. So I am just aligning this up 1/4 inch. Use just a straight stitch right here. There we go. And then same thing here. Line this up. 1/4 inch seam allowance. So you want to make sure, in order to have your Dresden plates all be the same size, you want to make sure that all your seam allowances are the same, your plates are the same size for the most part. Okay, and then that's it. Now I'm going to cut that string and take these apart. Now you can see these are chain pieced together, so you just want to cut these apart. However you do that, you can use the side of the machine there. And now the right sides are on the outside. I'm sorry, the right sides are on the inside and the wrong side is on the outside. So what you can do here to make the flip a little bit easier is, let me get a better one here for you, is take the folded edge. So you want to take the edge that's folded, not the open side, but the folded over edge, and then come up to right where you just sewed, and make a little angle. So you can see how I angled that in just a little bit. So this is going to be the point. So you take your turn, you can use your turn tool. I just use this wooden turning tool. And then you take your thumb and your finger and right here at the point and then flip it inside out, just like so. And then take your pointer and poke out the top. Now you do not want to poke through the fabric, you just want to poke that point in at the top, like so, so that you have a pointed top. Now these angles should be the same, and you can iron those down. So, a couple of things on the inside here. I just ironed the seams to one side, but you can iron them open for sure. Okay, and this is how big your Dresden plate is, just like that. So now this measures at, if I put this on a ruler, this measures at about 3 1/4 inches right there. So from that point to the bottom, that's a 3 1/4 inch. So it'll come out to be 3 inches. Okay, so same with these. Just snip off that little bit of an angle, turn it inside out, get your points, and then iron it flat. Uh-oh, this hardly even took. I have to re-sew this one. Okay, that's better. Turn this inside out. Poke your point. Okay. And now we have let's just clean up the surface area a little bit for you. All right. So now we have our 3 Dresden plates. So again, you want to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance when you sew these together. So I just line up right here where the fold starts. I just line those up. And then line up this edge where I'm going to sew. Now if the bottoms are off, that's okay. Like if one is a little bit longer than the other, that's okay. Basically, I just want to line up the tops to make sure that these match. And then on both sides, and they're good. And so I'm just going to sew straight down this one side. 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then I do back stitch at the top at those folds. I do back stitch up here at this junction because this is where this is kind of like free hanging, right? So I make sure that is secure right there. And then open that up. Now I just iron my seams. You can iron the seams open, but I just usually iron them to one side. And then I'm going to take the other one and put that on as well. And do the same thing. Back stitch. And I always start at the folded side, but you do not have to. You can start at the bottom and sew up. But I just want to make sure that these are aligned, and then when you open them up, bingo, there you go. Okay. And then you can sew all your 21 plates around. So I usually sew 10, and then I sew the other 10, and then I put those together, and then the last one, the 21st one, let me grab my, where did I put it? Okay, I don't know where my sunshine went. It just flew off. Okay, guys, my sunshine took light. Oh, here it is. Oh my gosh, it was hidden under fabric. Okay. Sorry about that. This was hidden under fabric. So anyway, you can see right here, this is what I wanted to show you. This is not square because I did not line up this this plate comes a little short. Well, it did on this. It did on this project. But what I did was I lined up this edge perfectly, and then whatever was left over, I just lined up on this side for this, fabric. And then so this is a little bit more narrow. I can't find my words today. It's May 2nd of 2023, and it snowed. Yesterday it sleeted. It was so cold. And I'm just all discombobulated. My emotions were rattled all over the place. So I'm trying to summon the sunshine is what I'm trying to do today. Trying to summon the sunshine. So I thought, what better way to do that than create a sun? Right? Besides doing a sun salutation in yoga, this is the next best thing I can think of right at the moment. So I'm certainly not going to be going outside and dancing for the sun dance or anything. But anyway, that's how you do that, okay? So, and then you just make 21 little plates and then sew them all together in just that fashion. And then you will have an open circle right here where all these ends meet up. And these don't have to be even. They are not even on here at all. You can see that, how they are not even. And that's fine because it's hidden under that applique circle. So that's all we do here is we just applique this on. Okay? I hope that makes sense. I may try to do a video more in depth on doing Dresden plates, but I just wanted to come on here real quick and kind of show you what I just did today. I just finished this right now, and so I thought I'm going to show you how to do a a sun. how to make a Dresden plate sun. Now this is bigger than our 12.5-inch blocks. Okay, this is, let's see, 17 inches. So this measures about 18, a little over 17 and a half to 17 and a half. So it is quite a, wait a minute, let me get this a little bit better here. So that point and this point, so that is the 18-inch mark, and that's the 18-inch mark. So from one point to the next, it's 18 inches by 18 inches. So this is way bigger than our 12.5-inch square block of the month, so a year full of stars. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right in the center of our star quilt. And I'm just going to put it dead in the center, and then all the stars can go around it. I think that's going to be pretty good. But I am going to put this on a background, so the background may be 20 inches. So maybe I'll do a 24-inch background on this, and that'll measure out pretty nice. That'll be like 4 squares. So there you go. I hope that helps. Bring the sunshine today, a little bit of joy and brightness and cheeriness. So thank you for joining our today's tutorial-esque Sunshine Dresden plate block of the month for May 2023. And I hope the sun, well, the sun is out, but it's very cold and we need it to warm up. So please, sunshine, please come. Bestow your warmth upon us. All right. Thank you and much gratitude today, guys. Look forward to another star video. So, yeah, we got another one in the works. This was just kind of another one of those where I just like threw in just because I wanted to do something extra. So we're gonna do another star for May. So that's 2 so far that that have just been like bonuses. All right, guys, you have a great sunshiny, cheery, joyful day today. Have a good one. See ya on the next video.